All right, y'all. Welcome back. Got a new week. September 29th, 8:26 a.m. Let's dive into it. All right. Shout out to everybody on YouTube, Facebook, social media to catch these recaps later. As y'all already know, this is not financial advice. Please, y'all, day trading is very risky. You are responsible for your own decisions as traders, as investors. Previous success does not guarantee future success. So the things that you see in these videos, be very careful trying to implement for your own investing strategies. All right. That being said, that's it. That's all I got. Let's dive into the noise. There's no noise today. Expecting a slow Monday, to be honest. The only earnings I saw was like Carnival Cruises, which that doesn't really move the market at all. Nothing on Monday. I think we don't get real noise. It's a little bit of noise. Job openings at 10 a.m., but I don't think I'll be trading around that time. Most likely, I'll be off the computer by then. But I think Thursday and Friday were the real noise days for me. Economic news reports. So expect heavy, heavy, heavy noise volume on Thursday and Friday. But to start off the week, I'm expecting some slow choppiness, pullback activity. Let's dive into it. Do this real quick. I'll just bring this over. That way it makes sense. This is a very, I didn't see much at all on the 4 hour. If you want to go back from Friday or yesterday, very, very, very much so bullish pattern. That bar bottom there, bumping around reversal is what that pattern is called with this trend line right here. Usually you don't get like three. I think I use it as like a falling wedge is how I traded it, but now that it's kind of completed itself, pushing it back up, it looks more like a bar. So I'm expecting a little bit of bullish continuation later on in the day. But as far as the morning session goes, I don't think we'll get much traction for day trading in the morning. That's just a hunch. And the reason being is for two reasons. I'll dive. Um, let's try to clean it up a little bit, actually. Undo that. Let's remove that. See if I can make that line a little bit cleaner. That's just like an instinct type of thing. I don't know. Right there, it's probably just a little bit cleaner. But yeah, the main reason why I say I'm not expecting much movement for today in the morning. We've been sideways since about 4 a.m. It feels a little tight. It feels very tight up in here. Um, Up in this channel. This channel is very small too. Look how small and tight this is. When it's tight, small and congested like that, don't expect much movement by either side. I'm expecting a little bit of sideways motion as it's kind of pulling back toward the market is pulling back right now. I'm expecting to kind of come out of this small channel area, but eventually go a little sideways, and then probably when the morning session is over, somewhere between like 11 to 12:30, I'm expecting it to kind of push back up and go above here. It's just just a trader's intuition, I would say, or just kind of my studying of what these tight, small channels ranging mean. So, the answer to the test, long story short, I don't anticipate taking a trade today. A lot of buying volume at the bell. That was crazy work. Let's see if that's going to be um, consistent here. Maybe a lot of selling is going to sell off here. That was a huge jump. Hold on, let me do some evaluating here. Scoot that up. Is that legit? Huge breakout already. Market looks to be a little overbought right at the bell. That was sickening to watch. Um, might have a huge sell off here. Crazy to think about, honestly. That was insane. Let me try to get a read on that. We're about a little bit under $5 to do puts. About halfway closer to $6 to do calls. I'm leaning more and more bearish at this point. Just had a huge influx of. I'm gonna let the market calm down. I think the market's a little overhyped right now. That was huge. That was insane. I think it's just a little bit of we're gonna remain bullish. I'm not gonna fall into that. It almost looks like some kind of trap. All right, we're gonna stay put. Let's just stay put. Market's a little bit overbought, just from some things I'm seeing here. So could be a huge dump off, but I want the market to calm down just a little bit. It's the first minute of the day, so let's see what else we can get here. I don't expect this to last long. It's already kind of broken out. I guess to start the bell, I guess that makes sense. It's already kind of broken out. So it's just a pullback. We're gonna remain with the pregame thesis here. We're gonna just remain let the market calm down. Let me see. Let me dump in here a little bit. The real question of today is, do I see this bull run continuing throughout the day? Answer is yes. I just don't think we'll get it in the morning. Or this could be some type of fake out. That's possible as well. But definitely need to give the market some time to kind of calm down. Bears very aggressive to start off this candle, even though this candle is pushing up. So it looks like we're starting off with a little bit of divergence. Maybe some, not maybe, but it looks like to be a little bit of profit taking. So that's where the somewhat of where the confusion will come in at for me. Um, Even though the candle is pushing up, people are selling and taking their profits. So that's going to be interesting to watch. We'll see. Let's see this here. Oh, we got a lot of volume on that. Got about 1.6 million of selling on this candle. So a lot of selling on this candle, but you got, it's got it pushing up just a little bit for the bulls. 30 seconds left. We'll see if this continues. So what I'm expecting a pullback, expecting the market to calm down. Bears will kind of push this down a little bit. Eventually the bulls will kind of take back over later on, but we'll see. All right. The first 5 minutes out the way. Bears came out strong. Let's see if they can keep it going. Look very aggressive. A lot of selling on that candle. Actually finished red, honestly. Very small body though. We'll see if that continues. I'm expecting it to just be in like a pullback for today. This channel don't really expect to take a trade today. Unless the bullish volume just kind of loses its mind. Or if I want to kind of be that smart person to take a reversal. Um, and just do calls here while it's pushing down. Not my cup of tea, you want to get honest. Definitely not my cup of tea. What else we got? I can get balance there. No liquidity grabs. Actually, there's no. So Bears come out the gate pretty strong on the volume. I think it's just a pullback. Market does look a little bit overbought, especially that run up from last night or over the weekend, starting from here and pushing itself up here. Where was it at the close? At the close, it was at 661.76 at the close. Ran all the way up to 665.72. The open, it was at 664. So market's going to try to do its best to balance itself out, which is why it's pushing down right now. I don't think this is long term though. Almost looks like, you know, sell off is just kind of giving potential liquidity grabs pretty soon. We'll see though. We shall see. Other real question is, can I sit here for an hour and not pull the trigger? I've done it a few times. Done better. Just make sure that we buy the custom order. Make sure we have the stop losses in place. Potential balance on this candle. We'll see if it finishes that way. Market really is just coming to this hourly EMA. The hourly EMA is at 663.50. Somewhere right here. That's where the hourly EMA is. So it's kind of pushing away from it. We'll see. I'm just expecting choppy sideways motions for today, for the first hour at least. I wouldn't be anxious to jump in any trades, honestly. We'll see though. Air's getting a little flip on the passive side here. A lot of selling on this as well. What we got? It's kind of increasing their pressure here on the passive side. I don't doubt that this will be a strong push down. Market is oversold. I just don't think it'll last long. Um, to get to the EMA here, 663.47 for the hourly. I think it'll get down there. Um, it's only about 50 cents at this point, so it's not much of a move for me. I need about $1, so it's no point in trying to take that risk. Certain pivot points are in the way, so let's just be patient. I don't think anything's gonna happen today. Honestly, nothing that I like. I'm trying to stick to the game plan of remaining bullish and not lose sight of that. It's just a pullback. This is not gonna last. I'm closer to 9 o'clock or 9:05. Let's see where the market is. What we got here? Bears look strong on this one as well. Actually increased on the passive side. Let's see. Bears out the gate looking really good. Don't expect this to last though. You know. The Bears just kind of people just kind of getting liquidity grabs at this point from a Bears standpoint, pushing it down so they can buy it lower. Let's see if they can keep it going. Saying that the Bulls are very aggressive on this candle, even though it's a little orange. See how long it lasts. It's still early in this candle. Got 3 minutes. Like we're just in a pullback phase as we approach that hourly EMA. Let me see. Let me see if I'm reading something incorrectly. I don't think I am, but it doesn't hurt to double check yourself. The market will always make you question yourself for sure. I can see it. I can see a sell off. I can see a sell off coming. I think it's too early for it though. That's my only thing. Let's see. See if I can see that pivot somewhere. I don't know. Okay. I can see a pivot coming for the Bears. I just think it's extremely early. So that's the big question. For right now, I'm gonna stick with the Bulls. I'm not gonna change my premise quite yet. We'll see. See how the Bulls kind of react after the after trap season is over, which is coming up pretty much right now. Just trying to make sure I'm reading it correctly. I could see I could see a push down, but I don't think that's the case right now. I think the Bulls are very much so in command. So we'll wait it out. Bulls look strong on this candle specifically. A lot of buying on this one. How much? 1 million. We got a couple. These first three candles over 1 million is we had some solid volume for the month of September. Wish I could have capitalized on it more. See if the market calms down here pretty soon. All right, Bulls look solid on that candle. That's a strong recovery candle. Um, right up in here, this looks like a bullish engulfing. These two candles here, the 835 and the 840, the bodies of those candles uh, suggest a bullish pivot. So the bulls are kind of fighting back here pretty strong. Let's see. See if they can keep it going. No balance. It's a real solid candle by the bulls. We'll see if the bulls are ready to pivot here. Kind of getting that fake out outside of that small channel. Let's see if that's going to be legit or not. This would be the moment to to jump in calls if I was a reversal type of trader, if that pivot and that reversal is coming, but I don't know. I'm not confident enough to call that. We'll see. I'm not. You know, we'll see. I'm not confident enough to call that. Reason for that being is because you've already started a downtrend, and to call a reversal with the starting at the shoot, if you really want to start it, if you want to be technical, since 5:25 this morning, you've already started the downtrend here, one move, and this will be on the second leg as the bell is opening here. But yeah, to call a reversal when it's already in the second leg move, I don't know. Got to be careful. We definitely have it to where we got some lines here. Liquidity grabs potentially. Mhm. Bull's still very aggressive on this counter. We're only halfway through it, a little bit more than halfway. What's that balance at? 663.75. Let me see something here. Seems to be some form of balance right up in here, so that's why it's pushing away. I'm thinking that's stemming from the EMA on the hourly chart. Um, I can show it here briefly. This EMA is kind of pushing the early candle away. So that would seem to be why. Let's see if the Bulls can really take command here and get it back inside that structure. I don't think, well, that's not what I think. Just watch what we see happen here. At 35 seconds left. Well, we got that kind of looks solid for the Bulls. Bulls are very aggressive on that candle. Um, not a volume tends to be slowing down a little bit. That candle was didn't get it didn't get above 1 million. So volume is kind of getting a little normalized here, but still a solid push by the Bulls on that candle. We'll see if they can keep it going and get back inside their structure there. They're definitely taking a stance here, keeping it above 663.75 of a key level. So actually, Bears are kind of taking a stance here. It's a little deep. Maybe having a bearish pivot here. There's could be looking to coming in pretty strong on this candle. So let's see how they react to that. Let's see if that's going to be the case for the rest of the session here. Kind of proves my point on why I don't call reversals, but it could just be choppy behavior. Bears in full force right now with this candle. They are definitely making a push. As of right now, everything's sideways. These five candles have went nowhere. So I can see that. See like a rising wedge. Starting from at the very top of yesterday, oh not yesterday, Friday, 8:55 a.m. Um, take that trend line, draw it all the way to 5:25 a.m. at the very top. And you start at the bottom of um, 10 a.m., 10:10 a.m. Take that bottom trend line and draw it to the current candle at 8:35 at the bottom there. I can see that rising wedge kind of closing in a little bit. I can see a bearish shift trying to make its way. We'll see. We'll see. I still think it's too. I like that as a bigger pattern. It's not as tight, but it's not as uh, it's not as rangy or it's not as much of a channeling back and forth as I would like it as well. It's very tight up in this in that rising wedge, but it is a big from a top to bottom standpoint that is pretty wide and tall. So we'll see how the rest of the market feels. Getting a long wick at the bottom. The body of this current candle is looking really small. About 2 seconds on this candle. All right. We got nothing. That would be the first candle where the market is like really slowing down here. We have nothing on this candle pretty much. Volume's not really aggressive at all. I would say bears probably lost a little steam if anything, but um, nothing too major. Just choppiness right now. So I could attribute everything to. So I wouldn't be, back to my original statement here. I wouldn't be too anxious to jump into anything. Stay out of choppy markets. I don't think that any type of day trade is gonna come in the next 35 minutes. We'll see though. See how the volume comes in. I would say, if we were to take a bearish trade, if that 663.75 level, um, were to get like seriously, you know, breached by the bears, that's a potential. We'll see if that's the case. Right now, everything is sideways. Hourly candle getting ready to close, still sideways from an overall standpoint. The body of that candle looks just the same as the others since 4 a.m. Nothing too massive about what's going on right now, just sideways. Very good thing when you can kind of read when the market's not moving or going anywhere. Keep your money on the sidelines. I think we're getting the top of a range here. Where's the top? I think the market's kind of establishing itself. I think the top of that range will be at 664.75. Let's see how it finishes. We got a minute. We still got a lot of time. I'm at 45. Let's see if it finishes that way. Look how tight that is. The top of that range is at 664.75. Bottom of that range is at 663.75. Even more reason to just stay away. Everything is so tight. But we'll see. Bear's kind of flipping on the passive side, so not as much. Doesn't look like much balance right now. We'll see. Probably just them coming up on this EMA on 5 minute chart. Could just potentially be like a pullback for this V-shaped pattern here. Let's dive into this V. Since 8:25, this V-shaped pattern. It's very small still. Another small tight pattern to stay away from, right? So just because we have a pattern and this V shape more half, I call it's a V bottom, not what I call it, but it's called a V bottom. So after a massive run up since yesterday around 11:30, massive run up, and then you get a V at the top. Usually that's an indication that the bears will kind of flood in after it comes at the bottom of this V, which, if I can remember correctly, I think the bottom of my range was at 663.75. So that kind of makes more and more sense for the Bears. So the Bears are at an inflection point right now. We'll see if they can make a push, but they're definitely trying to signal that they're trying to get it lower. We got a new hour, so not a terrible candle, but still just sideways on that hourly chart. But we'll see. Um, we'll just remain tight here. Anybody's ball game, honestly. Um, let's see. Yeah, volume looking a little slow right now, so that's kind of not what we want, but want to be able to get a good read on the market. Actually, we did get balance. We got balance on that last candle. Let's see where the top of that range is. Yeah, 664.73. Just left, man. Nothing shaking. Don't force anything. We just stay put. Let's see here. Oop. Bears definitely making a pivot right now. See if the Bears can make a shift here. 663. That should be right there. Yeah, so they're trying to make some kind of a statement here. We're still getting balanced though. So the Bulls are very aggressive. We'll see if the Bears can break below that 663.75 level. That would be the main watch here. If they were to break below that rising wedge pattern, if they were able to make something shake, make it a strong push by them if that's the case. We'll see. Yeah, they got that support. They got a couple of support levels here on these lines to break. They're coming for it though. A little bit under $5 to do puts. We'll probably look to do somewhere around 45 to 50 contracts. We'll see. We shall see. See if the Bears can finish the job here. They're trying though. Definitely coming for it. I don't quite know if it's sustainable. It's all about where the volume is going to take it. 30 seconds on this candle. Bulls lost some steam on the aggressive side, so that's a good sign. But need some follow through from the Bulls. The volume looks a little dead on their end. Like they're not really. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how this finishes out. I got a lot of selling coming in on this one. Got a million shares of selling on this. Bulls got weak. 10 seconds. I think a lot of people are trying to push this. We'll see though. Not quite there yet. Not quite sold on it quite yet. I still think the still in the territory where this may be a fake out. You did have a lot of selling on that though. There's a lot of selling on that. Some balance too. Million shares of selling on that last candle. Let me stay locked in here. Let me not lose my sense of. Bears trying to come in heavy on this one on the passive side. We'll see if they can keep it pushing. This may be a pivotal moment. Deep breath. Could just be a fake out for right now. It's a great point. Let me see. Bulls not ready to give it up yet. Mm, no. We did get balance on that. You got a lot of balance on that. That's something to pay attention to. Let me lock in on that. The bottom, these trend lines here at the bottom, the key level 663.75. It's very pivotal. Very pivotal. Very pivotal. This could be that moment where it's just a fake out and it wants to push the other way. That's possible. Or it could just be the choppy range we expected. So we'll just hold tight. That balance looks pretty solid on that last candle at 9 o'clock. So I don't think this is quite ready to run for the Bears quite yet. It's actually getting ready to turn around here. Another small tight pattern here if you want to see it that way. To try to throw any confusion, but starting at that 825 candle, almost like a W, very small and very tight, which is a bullish pattern, bullish reversal type pattern, but it's still small. As you're seeing all these small patterns, stay out of the way. The only thing that I could fully say that I just trust right now, if I was to trade a pattern, is this rising wedge. It is big and tall as it was since yesterday. Only problem with it is it's not really going through from trend line to trend line from top to bottom. But that would be the only thing that I just trusted to trade. I wouldn't necessarily trust this W or whatever the case may be. But definitely still have a bullish mindset that this could be the fake out area. Getting more balance on this candle right now, even though this candle is looking very tall. You have a lot of balance. So I don't know. Like the candle's not to be trusted. You got about 50 seconds on this. As tall as this candle looks, uh, the volume does not agree. Sentiment says it's balanced. Bulls actually flipped it, so that's a huge flip. So Bulls actually flipped it. This could be one of those moments where you have a huge influx of a turnaround, and the Bulls kind of take you from here. Uh, that could be the case, but you know, let me see. Let me see. I would actually draw it up here, honestly. Yeah, I still, if that would be the case, if the Bulls are trying to take it from here, I still think it's you're still in choppy behavior. There's nothing to really change anything about here. I wouldn't try to anticipate a run of some sort. Bulls actually got a pretty strong flip, so that's something to kind of be encouraged about. Let's stay locked in here. We got about 20 minutes. I'm not ready to jump off the ledge quite yet. I'm not convinced. You did get a bullish flip there on the sentiment. Um, but the volume isn't strong at all. Like, there's not a lot of dominance from on these candles thus far. So, with that huge influx of bullish, of a flip there, it's pretty safe to say you can you can remain bullish, but you're pretty much just in consolidation. You're just ranging right now. Uh, Nothing to get excited about. Stay put. Market's not ready to do anything, so you could probably, I don't know. We'll see. Leave it alone. It's getting weaker. Let me see something here. Getting more and more rangy here. I think the Bulls are kind of doing like a last minute assumption here. Could be one last push for the Bulls. That's what they're trying to get done here. We'll see. To the end, Marcus went nowhere. He's just sideways. Stay out of the way. We've got about 27 minutes. And the Marcus went absolutely nowhere. Not bad. Not bad so far. Let me see. Marcus is very much so sideways right now. Bears trying to flip this. Coming in very aggressive here. Mentally tell myself to make sure I buy a custom order if we are going to do puts. If this is going to continue to push down, it's just sideways right now, nothing major. 45 seconds on this candle. They still look very aggressive on this one. See if they can keep it that way. They're kind of ready to break through. Take a little water. 10 seconds. Very much so rangy. Nothing to get excited about. As this last 15 minutes comes up, unless we have a huge influx of bearish pressure, I say we stay out of the market. I don't know. I don't see it any other way. Definitely a lot of toggling back and forth. We'll see. See if the Bears can keep it up going forward. I hope, and this is just a little bit of hope in me. I hope is that this continues to just range quietly, so I'm not enticed to jump in any trades. I hate when trades come at the end of my period. Like when they come at 9:30, that always sucks for me because it's like I really don't want to take this, but technically I don't want to miss this. But yeah, unless the Bears get a huge break at that 663.75 level, which it looks like they're trying to come forward a little bit, probably might stay out of the way of this market. We'll see though. Still looking like a little bit of bears got a little flip there. Let's see if they can keep it pushing. Bears are definitely coming for it. Are they going to continue it though? Is my question. Are they going to keep it pushing? A little push there. They're trying to make something happen here. Halfway through this candle, so I'm a little behind on my analysis here, I think. We actually got a balance. Yeah, everything looks on the up and up. They're trying to make a statement here. Let's see if they can do so. 2 minutes left on this candle. Definitely pushing it down. If they can come down with some force here. They're trying to build a case. Hmm. This is gonna come at the bell. That's what my fear is. It's gonna come right at 9:30. So slow and so choppy. What my fear is, or what my frustration is gonna be, is it's gonna be like a huge retracement type of trade. So we're gonna stick to the rules, though. I can't control that. Can't try to play chess with the market. We got 11 minutes left here. Kind of hoping it reverses up so I can get out with a free day, but we'll see. We'll stick to the code. The Bears are definitely trying to push this a little lower. The problem is they're not pushing it down on strong volume. That's what my key in on right here. Even though the Bears are kind of pushing it down, the volume isn't really under us. It was on the last candle, so I'll give them that. But on this current candle, not so much. So make sure we're in a, I don't want to say safe trade. No trade is really safe, but I think the Bears will push this down in the next 10 minutes to the point to where it'll kind of force my hand a little bit. All right, on analysis here. Volume not super strong on this one as we are approaching a potential breakout to the downside, which scares me like crazy. But let's see. Bears coming in pretty heavy on this one. Let's see here. They're coming in extremely heavy. 8, 9, 21. Probably about another 30 seconds here. We're probably jumping the puts. Let's just give it a little bit more time. Almost looks like a liquidity grab. That worries me. Let's wait. Let's wait it out. I think I'm looking more so at let's wait it out. That doesn't look great. I don't like the way that looks. So we're gonna wait because that frustrates me. We got about 10 minutes. 10 minutes. It was actually flipping this pretty late. Good job on the wait. Yeah, we got a while. Getting a little bit of a retracement here. Didn't technically break through at all. Be very detailed. Remain patient. Got 9 minutes. Trying not to lock in on the fact that I have to place a trade. More so trying to get my mindset focused on the fact that we're nearing the end of my hour. Bulls coming in pretty strong. I would actually prefer it that way. Dead volume by the Bears, pretty much on that. Yeah, this is gonna channel a little bit more. Let's just stay out of the way. Let's just do that. That'll be great. More and more rangy stuff. That's not what we want. We do not want more and more rangy stuff. This could just be the bottom of support. Bulls coming in really heavy here. Could just be a liquidity grab. Choppy, choppy, choppy. More and more chop. Stay out of choppy markets. Stay out of the way. Keep my money on the sideline. Bulls coming in strong on this. We got a minute and a half. Bulls are not playing about this candle. Imagine if I would have jumped in that trade. Oh my God. Let's stay locked in. We got about 6 minutes. We've been doing very well. This is like one of the hardest things for me to do. I always admit that on tape. To sit here for an hour and be like close to pulling the trigger or seeing certain patterns ready to go. Market absolutely went nowhere from 8:30 to now. So yeah, I actually think the Bulls are looking a little more solid, just a little bit. They're still very aggressive on this candle. Where we at? We got 20 seconds. It's a very solid candle, but it's very much so still sideways for the entire morning. Okay. All right. 5 minutes left, unless the Bears lose their minds, which I think that would it's not impossible, but very slim at this point. But yeah, actually, Bulls lost some steam there. Yeah, just very choppy. Just stay out of the way here. We got absolutely nothing. A whole bunch of nothing. All this movement is just a bunch of nothing. Bulls lost steam on that one. We're gonna make a note of that. So yeah. Um, hopefully the Bulls keep it pushing up a little bit more. Like, but yeah, I'm definitely I'm at the point where yeah, I'm good to walk away for today mentally. Um, so I give it the 5 minutes that I usually give it. I don't expect the Bears to kind of turn this around and have a breakout. I'd be surprised they did. But, but yeah, definitely a sideways morning. And I'm happy this is something that I can recognize yet again. Just kind of staying out of the way of consolidation. Main thing to kind of notice is when you start having all these tight patterns, tight and small patterns showing up. That's one reason to kind of pay attention. But also, if you have a game plan of when you're game planning for big and tall patterns, um, and the market's just not going that way, or it's not you know going the way you planned on it, just stay out of the way. This is very much so in consolidation as far as the rising wedge is concerned. It's a bearish pattern. Market's moving sideways unless the market was ready to break below the bottom trend line, which it has not done so yet. And it looks like it kind of wants to just continue to be choppy and push up a little bit. Yeah, I'm just stay out of the way. 3 minutes left, a little bit over 3 minutes, but yeah, we will come back tomorrow and have a grand trading session tomorrow for sure. Got 3 minutes left. Bulls looking pretty aggressive on this one. Something else to pay attention to. The 9:10 candle, 9:15, 9:20 candle. These candles are all inside of the 9:05 candle. More and more tightness, more and more inside, more and more not moving anywhere. So just out of the way. I believe it's anybody's ball game, honestly. It could be 50-50. Um, yeah, it's definitely gonna range for a while. When nothing's there, just walk away. And that's what I am going to do for today. 2 minutes. Yep, market has moved nowhere. We got a minute and 40 left. So excited about this. I get more excited about this than I'm not gonna lie like that. I don't get more excited than when I make money. I'm excited about being able to be this disciplined and sit here for an hour and actually able to read when the market is choppy, um, when it's not moving or when it's not doing anything. It's been a while since I kind of zeroed in on that because the market does remain balanced about 80% of the time, um, which means typically on a good week for me, I get, possibly 2 day trades, maybe three. But, but yeah, the jobs market is to remain balanced. And as traders, as day traders specifically, your job is to catch when it is imbalanced, which is not all the time. Which is why they say you can't time the market. But we got 45 seconds. I appreciate y'all watching. It's been a great day. We're gonna have a great week. Um, Try to zero in on tomorrow. But yeah, looking forward to it. 25 seconds. All right, I'm not even gonna wait. Ain't nothing really coming. All right, I appreciate y'all watching. I will see y'all tomorrow. Thanks for hanging in there. And like, share, subscribe, all those great things to the YouTube, to the Facebook. If y'all have any questions, hit me in the comments. If you have any questions, hit me in the DMs as well. Shout out to all of y'all who do. Appreciate y'all. And then I will see y'all tomorrow.